Hey guys, welcome back. This is Tarun again, back with another fitness video. So as you can see, as part of our grooming series, I got myself groomed. I hope you're following my transformation updates. So this video, I'm not going to talk any of that stuff. I'm going to talk about a very serious problem which I had, and some people actually still feel that I still have it. I'm talking about chest fat, or commonly, or also some people confuse it with gyno, gynecomastia, or whatever you want to call it. It's nothing but male boobs. Here's, you can have a picture. Look at this picture here. This is me, a few days back, where I'm sharing my updates in terms of how my body is shaping. So a lot of you have been asking me that, Tarun, is there a difference? Is there a way we can tell what is a chest fat versus what is gyno? Because the only way you can fix gyno is through a surgery, whereas chest fat you can obviously remove by working out and by kind of following certain training patterns and eating patterns, which can actually help you minimize it. My experience, so a little bit about me. I come from a Jat Punjabi kind of family wherein I had access to food. Being the only child, I was fed with a lot of food, out of sheer love. Those Indian mothers, they tend to usually do, oh beta ye bhi kha lo, beta wo bhi kha lo. So as a result, while growing up, I developed a lot of fat, and as a result, again, as a byproduct of that, I developed a lot of fat on my chest. Now, it should have been sorted then only. Obviously I started getting conscious about it. I asked a lot of my friends, embarrassingly, obviously they were laughing at it. I asked my parents. My parents obviously didn't pay too much attention. They said, what, it's just, you're young right now. Once you hit your puberty, it'll be fine. But to my disappointment, it didn't go. It only got worse. And I came to a stage wherein that, I had no option but to figure out a solution. So I went to a doctor, and the doctor told me that, hey Tarun, this is no gyno, this is just chest fat, that you need to fix it. So I asked him one question, which I think most of you would want to know, that what is the difference between gyno and chest fat? So first of all, for people who don't know what gyno is nothing but male boobs, development of estrogen on your it's just a development of fat tissue on your chest which looks like breast. It gives you an illusion of man with breast, typically referred to as male boobs. Gyno usually it's a result of hormonal imbalance while growing up, which could be because of your lifestyle, or it could be because of your eating habits, or it could be because it might be running in your family. There's nothing to be ashamed of. I'm not fucking ashamed of it. If you have it, you got to live with it, and hey, you got to find ways to fix it. So coming back to that question, how do you know if you have chest fat or you have gyno? So gyno, if you see the area on your chest, and especially on the nipples, it'll be very firm. Very firm, whereas if you look at your fat, if it's chest fat, it'll be very soft. So what you can do right now is, you can feel your guys, who have this issue, you can obviously, test it out for yourself. If it's soft, chances are it's just fat. Gyno also, you gotta understand, gyno is more of hormonal based. There's a hormonal locha at an age of, when you're growing up at 11, 12, 13 years, when kids are growing up. While I was growing up, everybody goes through these issues. Some kids develop these male breasts, some kids don't. They develop fat under their either their stomach or their thighs, wherever. So this is more hormonal in nature, gyno. Whereas chest fat is more related to your diet. If you've been eating shitty food, if you've been eating all kinds of junk while growing up and not caring too much about anything else or exercise, that's chest fat. That's how you develop chest fat. Chest fat. And gyno is more to do with the age. For example, if you are a kid at an age of 13, 14, 12 years, chances of you developing gyno are a lot higher, for a fact that obviously you're eating, there is a hormonal imbalance going in your body, there's too much of influx because, your testosterone is just peaking at that time, plus, your eating habit is such you're developing too much of estrogen and breast tissue. So what is happening is there is too much of imbalance happening there. So you developing gyno, chances of you developing gyno at a younger age of between 10 to 14 are a lot higher. Whereas in case of fat chest, it can happen anytime. It could happen to anybody. Just when you let yourself go, or when you stop working out, or when you start eating any crap, junk in your body, and the chest fat begins to develop. So these are certain some of the things that you should know about chest fat versus gyno. Now the immediate question is, can you fix gyno? I've done the video on this, but unfortunately gyno cannot be fixed. The only way to fix gyno is through a surgery, and that surgery also costs somewhere between 1 to 5 lakhs, and it's a very common surgery. It happens to everybody. They do nothing but they just remove that fat tissue from your chest. It's a little painful process, but it's very, very expensive, and the success rate is also fairly high. So if you're thinking about it, if it's giving you sleepless nights, hey, you may want to think about it. I'm okay with it. Fuck, I don't really care. But for fat chest, definitely there's hope. You can do so much to minimize your body fat. One thing that you can always do is make changes in your diet. You got to go to a high protein and a moderate carbs kind of a diet. If you follow my transformation, there are not too many carbs there, for a fact that if you're prone to gaining too much of weight, especially around your chest, around your stomach, you should not be having too much of carbs. But remember, carbs are not the enemy. I always talk about it's the timing of carbs that you got to be careful if you're suffering from that issue of developing fat around your chest area. So you should be careful about it in terms of your carb manipulation and timing. So carb cycling in terms of days, having high carb days and having low carb days is a must for you folks if you're suffering from this problem. 2. So you have to hit your chest from different angles, from exercise and training perspective. You can't follow anybody's program, okay, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do incline chest, I'm going to do decline chest only. No, if you really want to fix gyno or a chest fat, if you want to minimize chest fat here, you got to do all exercises, right from decline push-ups to incline dumbbell press to about pullovers, and about push-ups. And you got to do it heavy and you got to feel it. Remember that mind to muscle connection that I always talk about? You have to really harden this muscle. Plus you also need to ensure that your diet is in such a way that it helps you lose that fat around your chest, plus it helps you tighten up. So weight training will help you tighten up, and good nutrition will actually help you lose that fat around your chest area. So for all of you who have this issue around chest fat, you don't have to really worry about it. Most of the people have it, but what you really need to focus on is how you can actually fix this. The only fix to your chest fat is through exercise and nutrition, and the only fix to a gyno is a surgery. But hey, you know what? Gyno looks a little weird, and it's very easy to spot the difference between gyno and chest fat. And I'm going to share that difference with you right here. And I'm also going to share with you folks, with my transformation. A lot of people have been questioning about, me. Oh, Tarun, you have gyno. Some people say fat chest fat, whatever it is. So I'm going to show you that, even chest on your fat can be minimized. So you have to follow my transformation, which I update my videos every week. You need to very closely watch my chest, how it tightens up. So the reason I'm doing this is so that you could get some idea and perspective that these things are fixable, if you were to train right and if you were to eat right. So guys, with all these chest fat problems or gyno, whatever, fuck it, don't even think about it. Everything is fixable. Just get your mind right and open your horizon to different things. Any one of you who have any questions around this, feel free to reach out to me either on my YouTube channel, on my Facebook, or on my WhatsApp channel. I'll be very happy to initiate a discussion around this. So until we meet again, see you.